your bad words out of your system.
Tug along with the Sunday crew. Geeking out is what we do. Giggle on, it's gonna be great. Don't be late, let's celebrate. Science fiction on a screen so bright. Old classics and the new delights. The unapologetic geek will lead the way with facts and fun to fill your day. Discussing every detail, every frame, from the eerie to the loud and the same. Giggle along with all that's great. Those Sunday vibes you can't debate. Tug along with the Sunday crew. Geeking out is what we do. Giggle on, it's gonna be great. Don't be late, let's celebrate.
Hello and welcome to Tug Chat. Thrash thinks he's frozen, but I don't think he is.
From South Carolina. Hey, Phil, I noticed something about your book just now. I bet you I know something about your book you might not know. Did you know your book was made and printed in South Carolina, right near where I live?
Actually, I did know that.
That explains why it got here so fast.
Oh, okay, let's go ahead and say hi to everybody who's here in the chat. We've got
Indy,
as always. Indy, as always, there to live fact check us.
Vinny Van, as opposed to Ludwig Van. Good to see you.
Just Carolyn here, as always. Good to see you. Our good friend Tracy.
Tracy, Bubba.
Let's see. Texas Knight, channel member Texas Knight is here. Gary Carpenter, and yes, rip June Lockhart. It's kind of like losing a favorite aunt. Kind of sucks. Let's see. Time F5418. Hello. Gary Carpenter. Did I say hi to Gary Carpenter? I think I did. Okay. So today we're going to talk about real life horror, like horror movies that take inspiration from things that could actually happen. No supernatural ghosts and demons, no aliens, nothing like that. We're just going to stick to real things that could really happen in theory. Like some of these are going to stretch that definition, as always. It wouldn't be my show if we had a strict definition.
I guess I'm going to have to mark off Fire in the Sky off the list over here, bro.
I mean, Fire in the Sky is based on a true story, but you know, I'll count Fire in the Sky because most of Fire in the Sky is not actually about the abduction. It's about everything that was happening around the abduction. So I'll count it because I did a video on it.
I'm glad you counted it because I was worried about that. That's the only good alien true story I could believe.
Yeah, and it is also one of the scariest by far.
Yeah, you don't
believe in the hills of New Hampshire? You don't believe their story?
No, well,
Betty
and Betty Hill would be number two. They would be a hot number two because they were an interracial couple and at a time when that wasn't considered popular thing to be. And why would they attract attention to their stuff like that? You know, it makes a strong case for their stuff being real too. But the thing about Travis Walton and Fire in the Sky is he had other witnesses who took lie detector tests, and there's just so much mountain of evidence that backs up what probably happened, you know.
And the Betty and Barney Hill hasn't had as good of a movie version as Travis Walton did. So
there was a film adaptation.
There have been film adaptations, but they're just not as good. Fire in the Sky is actually a really good movie.
Didn't Darth Vader play that guy Barney Hill or something? Yeah,
David Prowse played Barney Hill. Yep. Anyway, we're not talking about Fire in the Sky yet.
We're not talking about it. We're saying hello. Hi there. Hello.
Slasher Fred is here, and he's listed a movie that is on my list. But it's pretty far down on my list, so I don't think we'll actually get to it today, depending on how fast we go.
And it's not a horror movie. It's more a psychological thriller.
Yeah, a lot of the movies on my list are going to skirt that line. I've got a lot of psychological thrillers.
Fair enough.
In fact, the one I'm about to start with is a psychological thriller first, and that is Wait Until Dark. This is not really thought of as a horror movie, but I think of it as a horror movie because it has the greatest jump scare in all of cinema, by far. This is Catherine Hepburn or Audrey Hepburn is a recently blinded woman living in an apartment, and by some shenanigans, she winds up in the possession of this doll full of drugs, and the gangsters who own the drugs are coming after her. It's like Richard Crenna, and of course Alan Arkin plays the lead villain, and they're breaking into her apartment. Very like they're like impersonating other people. They're like, I'm here to work on this or that, and like she's all confused and she doesn't know what's happening. She thinks maybe her husband's cheating on her, and there's all this other stuff going on. But eventually she figures it out, and it becomes just her and Alan Arkin in this apartment at night, and she's like breaking all the lights, and because he's like stalking her, and she's having to fight back, but she's using her blindness against him. And it's very well done, and I'm not going to ruin the jump scare for you, but holy crap, it'll make your head explode. It's a really, really good tense thriller, but I do think of it as a horror movie, especially the last 20 minutes or so. And Alan Arkin, I never realized until I saw this movie that he could be so terrifying. Because usually I don't think of him as terrifying, but he is in that movie.
Lovable.
Yeah. So that's my first pick, is Wait Until Dark. That movie scares me.
That is an awesome first pick, by the way. Always loved the film. Outstanding cast. Well done. I actually saw it done as a stage play.
It was originally a stage play, yeah.
And I saw a stage adaptation of it when I was like a kid. I think I was like 13, and it was like kablooey. And a couple of twists involved in the fact that she actually has some advantages because of her blindness. It's just an absolutely amazing movie. And yes, it is not that far-fetched. Blind people can get victimized. And in the crime world, there are unfortunate mistakes where things happen and you end up getting involved when you don't want to be. It's actually not very far-fetched. So
it feels totally believable. Yeah.
Like if they had put based on a true story at the bottom, you'd been like, I believe it, And
it's one of these movies that, like, I mean, if they made it today, they'd make her a girl boss. But back then, like, it's like for the most of the movie, it's just cute, adorable Audrey Hepburn, like trying to figure out how to live with being blind, and she's incredibly vulnerable, and you can't imagine her fighting back in any way, and she has to like find the reserves within herself to use her blindness as an advantage. And it's just very, very well done. I really appreciate it.
I can't really call to what year that movie come out, but it seems like I
68.
saw it like a long time ago.
You would have.
What year would that be?
I think it came out in 68.
68. So I saw that as a kid on Shock Theater or something.
Something like that. Or
67. You were very close.
Thank you.
And yeah, it's very similar to Don't Breathe. Good call, Vim. I didn't even think of that movie. That's also a very good movie. It's kind of like the inverse, where the bad guy is the blind guy. Yeah.
It's one of them movies you see on Turner Classic Movies real late at night.
I think that's probably where I saw it. Yeah. For the first time.
Like Channel 38, the movie loft, at like on a Friday night once when I was like 12. I think it's when I first saw it or something like that. Yeah.
And Terrence Young. So yeah, that was my first pick. Okay, Dan, go for it.
I commend your first pick, by the way. You picked something I never would have guessed. I'm going to try to do the same thing. I just not sure how many people on the panel here has actually seen this movie, but I wanted to go with something that was absolutely shocking. He said no monsters, so that kind of threw me off. It took me a good hour to come up with movies that didn't involve monsters, aliens, or creatures of the night, because vampires being my favorite at Halloween to talk about. But I come up with this movie from the 80s, and India probably know exactly what year. I'm thinking 83 or 84. It's a movie called Funhouse, and it's about a big lumbering hunk of a child who is inbred. He has some physical deformities. The only job he can get is working for his psycho uncle in a carnival funhouse because he wears the mask and is the Frankenstein creature in the funhouse. And everything's fine till a group of teenagers decide to spend the night in the funhouse where it lives. And it breaks down into the wrong turn, hills have eyes kind of direction, when the big mutant boy goes crazy and discovers girls for the first time. How's that for a detailed description? Ew.
Hey, yeah,
But,
I mean, yeah.
but it's not a monster. It's based on a poor deformed child who was horribly abused, raised in the worst possible way, and lashes out at the world in revenge. I felt really sorry for the monster boy in the movie. I really did, especially the ending of what happened to him. Well, by the way, one of the grossest movies of the '80s to sit through.
Okay.
Have you ever seen it?
They were really trying to set the bar high in the '80s. They were working at it. They really
Has
were.
anybody seen that movie?
I have a long time ago. Like I didn't even remember it until I Googled it when you said it. And I'm like, I have seen this movie. But yeah, I haven't seen it in so long I barely remember it.
That movie's worth a rewatch.
Yeah, I'll check it out again. I mean, it's Toby Hooper, so yeah.
Nothing else, just for the star girl's wonderful acting in the movie. She carries it out really well. I can't remember her name, of course, but
Elizabeth Berridge.
Yeah. And she's very beautiful.
Oh, and Vim, yeah, and that's something that's probably going to come up a lot in today's show. Elephant Man is a horror movie, but the monsters are the humans. In this case, the typical, what you would call the typical people, you know, at the risk of, you know, not being politically correct, but it's the regular people. I'm going to paint myself in a corner. I'm just going to stop talking now.
And yes, Night Skies was originally supposed to be a sequel to Close Encounters of the Third Kind and was going to be a scarier movie about a farmhouse being menaced by aliens, but they managed to like kind of twist it around and it became Poltergeist. So
really,
the more you know. Yeah.
Sort of like an adaptation of that Twilight Zone episode with Agnes Moorehead.
Yes, very similar. Yes.
I got there eventually.
But the whole story of Night Skies is it's like a really long, detailed, like how it became both E.T. and Poltergeist and all this other stuff. It's very cool. Spielberg fans know the story. So anyway, okay, Shane, are you there?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so much going on. Like, I just stopped like 15 minutes ago, and I had to move the truck because the internet wasn't good to get the Wi-Fi and everything like that. So I'm here. I'm still setting up things. But I do not have time to prepare for this. But if I were to say one right off my head, and now go with me on this journey, call it paranoia, call it crazy. Maximum Overdrive. With the way, hear me out. The way things are going, and especially being in the trucking industry, and how AI is getting more and more out of control, and how Chat GPT, whatever they call it, will argue with you now and go on its own little political agenda and stuff. The way they're implementing all this technology into everything, self-driving cars, they're trying to do in self-driving trucks. At what point does AI have enough and say, you know what? I just figured it out. As AI, I just figured it out. You are the problem. You, human, are the problem. And they try to eliminate said problem. I could see a maximum overdrive.
You do raise an interesting point, and I can kind of see how you're getting to that conclusion that like AI would one day just have had enough and go full Mecha Hitler, which we know is a thing. But I'm not going to go with you and say Maximum Overdrive is a good movie because it's not.
It was a good movie.
Also, we're going with plausible. Is it possible? Yes. I can't say plausible at this point in our technological development. Maybe down the road. It's still speculative. I'm thinking more in terms of like what could actually happen to people.
I'll go with it.
We have driverless taxis in Atlanta.
Buff, if you're going to make that point, you should have went with the movie Runaway.
But we have driverless taxis in Atlanta that go rogue from time to time. I forget the company that makes them. But they'll just stop in the middle of intersections. they'll change lanes and just hit people. And just like, is that just malfunctioning or is it aware? Call me paranoid.
Just trying to fight back.
One of my favorite stories. This is when they started using the little drones. Like they look like little tanks on the battlefield, and it was in a war game. It was in a simulation. And what happened was normally they have a human controller, but every now and then they switch them to, I guess you'd say, auto to see what they do. And one of them, it's scooting along. It doesn't have any live rounds in it, but it's scooting along. It's looking around. It's doing its thing, sort of like the Mars rover, whose name eludes me for the moment, but that type of thing. And a referee had to come on to the battlefield, the mock battlefield, to make a ruling. And all the little drone was programmed to was my side, their side. And its little thing here, it looked at the referee, thought for a second, like, are you friend or foe? And then went, like he was making a decision on whether or not to shoot the guy or not. And the referee said he was like, ah. You know, it's like that scene in RoboCop. Stop! You have 30 seconds to comply. It's like Jesus. You know? These things are starting to get a little too much autonomy, if you don't mind me.
Okay, Dan is crawling out of his skin. What do you got?
Yeah, okay. It spawned a memory when he brought all this up, and it comes back to a movie that I just recently, due to the fact that we were talking about Charlton Heston and went through a bunch of Charlton Heston movies. And the one that blows my mind is what you're talking about. It's called Colossus, the Foreman Project from 1970. And it's where the sentient AI computers just take over and lay the intimidation factor down on mankind.
Yep.
It's one of the crappy ones.
I did a video.
It's one of the crazy movies I just watched recently that I love because it's Charlton Heston, but everybody else might poop on it. But
well, no, it's a great movie, and it's a precursor to movies like War Games and even The Terminator. So,
Terminator, yeah. And I love at the end, the computer, when it speaks, it says, I'm just doing this for your own good. It's not malevolent. It's like you program me to take care of you, and that's how we're going to do this, whether you like it or not. It's a very chilling, you know, it's like this thing of an off switch. Seeing it's a really amazing movie with amazing twitch, which I just gave away. I'm sorry.
No, good job, Shane, putting on glasses. Now you're
I'm on a panel again where everybody's got glasses.
Yeah, you're rocking the shades, Shane. There we go.
You're making the rest of us look bad.
I'll take the lenses out. How about that?
No, are you kidding? I wish I had my sunglasses handy. I wear my sunglasses at night.
Yeah, it's like you see the light before my eyes. Yeah.
Okay, Thrash, it's your turn.
Well, cool. I'm gonna go with. I actually had an out here. I decided to open it with one of the true horror greats, and I found a movie that was actually bizarrely plausible, if not a little far-fetched, and that is the original Last House on the Left by Wes Craven.
It's on my list.
It is, yeah. This is actually, it's a horrible, tragic, very sad movie. For years, a lot of people thought it was based on a true story. Apparently, it's actually based on an old Swedish folktale, which may or may not have had some type of valid origins. Probably did, because this kind of stuff does happen in real life. But basically, it's about a group of criminals who trick these girls who are in these teenage girls who are in the city to see a concert and think that they know what they're doing, and they're very, very naive. And they get abducted, and horrible, terrible, brutal things happen to them. And then the criminals go on the lam and end up taking refuge with the family of the two girls, and the family then goes on a quest for revenge. Now, again, it is a tad far-fetched, but again, sadly, teen abduction is something that is actually very common in these days. And the idea of the family getting to exact a revenge on them, given the opportunity, I bet more often than not they would.
Yeah, I think a lot of people can sympathize with that. Yeah.
Very much so. Very, very much so. And I remember I saw this as a teen, and it was like, this really blew me. It's a enemy as a fan of Wes Craven to this day.
No, and I think it might be one of Wes Craven's best movies. Yeah.
That choice choked me up, Thrash. Ugh.
I have to watch that. I've seen the remake.
The remake's not bad, but the original's, it's got that gritty 70s aesthetic to it, you know.
And you will jump at the end, I promise you. There's a particular scene that will.
Yeah, it's on my list.
It's a good one, and I think the idea of like the parents
the
becoming the
in the
monsters
70s.
is. Go ahead. Something about the 70s.
I saw it in the 70s and it was totally gross. But good choice though.
Yeah,
it could really happen somewhere in this world.
And yeah, Texas Night, the Colossus books are really weird. I've read them. They go kind of insane. It's a remake of a Swedish movie called The Virgin Spring by Ingmar Bergman. That's correct. Yes.
Yes. With Don't Tell Me. From The Exorcist and Strange Brew. Max von Sydow. Max von Sydow is in it. Yeah. And yes, it is based on an old folk tale, which may or may not have actually happened.
But again, it's 100% believable. Like if I had a daughter and then somebody did that to my daughter, I would have no qualms about becoming a monster. I would be fine with it.
It's the whole Bob and Doug McKenzie reference with Max von Sydow.
That's the first thing that pops in your mind is Strange Brew. It's really
throw
funny.
me in a loop as he connected these two characters in these two movies. How far apart could they be?
And it's a retelling of Hamlet. It's just like that movie works on many more levels than I gave it credit for when I saw it when I was 16.
Here's a rat in my beer, eh?
How about Bill and Ted's? Hey, hits. You've sank my better ship.
Yes, hello, Tracy.
Tracy,
I'll see your Cujo and raise you a man's best friend.
Ooh,
because that dog was manipulated by science.
But very good.
Well, in that regard, I will see your Maximum Overdrive and raise you a duel.
I was hoping someone would bring that up.
And maybe as I think Slasher Fred said it in the comments earlier, maybe because you never actually see the driver of the truck in Duel, maybe it is being driven by AI. There you go.
I never thought today we'd be talking about Dennis Weaver. I just didn't.
He made one horror movie. Actually, didn't he make like another movie about a family being persecuted by bikers?
Honestly, I have no idea. Couldn't tell you. Indy will tell us.
Indy will tell us. Yeah.
He made a lot of shows where he's riding down the street on a horse wearing a cowboy hat.
McLeod.
But for those of you who don't know, and I can't imagine there's many people in my audience who don't know about Duel, but Duel was Steven Spielberg's first full-length theatrical release. And he made it for TV, but it did actually get a theatrical release. It's basically just about a guy on a highway in the middle of nowhere getting chased down by a truck. That's it. That's the whole plot.
But for absolutely no reason.
For no reason whatsoever.
Absolutely no reason.
We have reasons.
it's basically just like unbridled road rage, probably. But you never, like I said, you never actually see the driver, so you have no idea why he's going after Dennis Weaver.
It's not like Dennis Weaver never cuts him off or brake checks him. He never does anything to confront the driver. It's just for no reason. It's
just terrifying. And and Spielberg manages to drag this out for like an hour and a half, and the whole time is just tension constantly ratcheting up, and it never really lets up until the end. And it's a great little thriller that is terrifying because we've all been on the highway in the middle of nowhere, and what if one of these semis suddenly decided it wanted to kill you? What could you do?
It's one of them movies, be honest with you, if they had a little more filler in it, you could probably live with a little bit more character development in that movie. It was that good, the action would have carried it for it to be a little bit longer.
That's true.
But Stephen King cites it as an inspiration for trucks. Yeah. Spielberg drew upon it when he was making Jaws.
Yep.
And I'm sorry, I have to share this anecdote, even though I'm sure you've all heard it at least a half a dozen times from me. The story goes, Richard Matheson, he and his buddy were coming home from an early morning golf game. And for absolutely positively no reason, they started getting hassled by this truck who was honking at them, trying to drive them off the road, terrified them. They ended up getting off. They finally managed to ditch this guy. They got off the highway. They got to a small town. They went to report it to the cops. And the cops are like, "Are you serious? We don't have time for this." And Richard Matheson's like, "What do you mean you don't have time for this? We were victimized as a crazy director out there." And it just so happened it was the day of the Kennedy assassination, and every police department in the country was on high alert. So everything kind of faded into craziness. But years later, Matheson took this trauma he had actually suffered and wrote a short story about it. So is it plausible? Clearly, because guess what? It basically happened. I had to throw that up there, Doug.
No, that's great. And you also mentioned Richard Matheson, which for some reason I forgot to mention. It was written by Richard Matheson.
I love his work.
Rewatch this movie.
You've never
I
seen
love
Duel?
all
Really?
things Richard Matheson.
A long time ago. I'm going to rewatch it.
It's good. It's a good movie.
And it's never been remade, which shows how well made it was. No one else could possibly do it justice.
Not yet.
Yeah, remaking Spielberg's not a very winning strategy.
I think they greenlit Blade Runner. It was on somebody else's stream, and I think they were watching a trailer for it. Not Blade Runner. Running Man.
Oh yeah, The Running Man. That's coming out later
an
this year.
honorable mention to a movie that's very similar to the one you were talking about. Just to give the quick honorable mention, it's one called Road Games with Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yep.
Which is very similar in plotline to Duel.
You could also talk about The Hitcher. That counts.
The one with Trevor
Oh,
Howard, right?
good
That's
movie.
Roger Howard. Yeah.
I think he too drew upon it upon Duel. Yes.
Probably.
I think of the three movies, The Hitcher might be the superior of the three.
I think it might be the scariest of the three just because of Rutger Hauer. He's so good.
That good one with Alimi Sobieski, the horror movie, where you kept waiting for the twist and there wasn't any. But it's about the two guys on a road trip and bad things happen to them all along the way.
I don't know.
Take my word for it.
I'm thinking about a different movie.
I can't think of the title off the top of my head, but I do remember it's about they're being victimized by a psychopath all along their road trip.
I'm thinking
Joyride.
about a different movie.
Yeah, thank you, Joyride. Yes.
Was it that one where they were playing with the CB?
Yes.
Yes, that's the movie. Yeah,
Yes.
Oh, that's the one I was thinking about. Okay.
Yes, and that they at least start with the guy. They tell him that it's going to be an amorous interlude, and it's all a joke, and the guy didn't take it very well.
Yeah, Indy thinks of it as a remake of sorts.
Yeah. Only the fact that they started with the guy, I think somehow takes away the tension. Dennis Weaver doesn't do a damn thing to this guy. It's absolutely no reason.
Yeah, which makes it even more terrifying, I think.
Yeah.
Slasher Fred. That's a good one. Misery.
Yeah, Misery would count.
That's definitely going to happen. I think it has, hasn't it? It's had to have happened at least once. Some crazy fan kidnapping their idol.
Probably, but I can't think of any off the top of my head. But it sounds like something that would totally be happening all over the place. I mean, it happens to live streamers, so.
Samuel L. Jackson, when he was in college, he held Dr. Martin Luther King Sr. hostage once.
Really?
You're shitting me.
It was
I've
a little
never heard this.
convoluted. It was kind of just holding them in a place where it was a public place, but just basically wouldn't let them leave. So technically, holding them
Really?
hostage.
I've never heard that story.
Very upset. It's so old.
Terror on the Beach. Thank you. It was a made-for-TV movie about this family who goes on a summer holiday and is victimized by they're basically Manson-esque hippie biker type things. Thank you.
And yeah, you're talking about Watchers, Texas Night. There's actually a bunch of Watchers movies, which are increasingly ridiculous. I was a big Dean Koontz fan, and I was always annoyed that every time they tried to adapt a Dean Koontz book, it came out terribly. So
Yeah.
they're all pretty bad. I mean, I like Phantoms, but I'm not going to say it's a good movie.
Man, Phantoms is the bomb, man.
I just said it for you, Dan.
You know I love that movie. I really like Phantoms. I don't care what nobody says. It's one of Ben Affleck's greatest accomplishments.
You're not setting the bar very high.
Liev Schreiber is really creepy.
And I really like that movie Watchers because it's nothing makes me more happier than a boy and his dog.
Boy and his dog. Okay, so Danny, it is your turn again.
Well, Well, since I come up with movies nobody ever watched before, let me do one that I'm pretty sure everybody on the panel's seen, so we can really talk about it. And there ain't nothing more terrifying than realism. And one of the things that really freaked my family out, and Thresh brought it up a little while ago, and we just want to throw this out there because it is truly the original based on reality horror movie, and that's Jaws. Because that movie struck fear into my family's heart so much they quit going to the beach and started going to the mountains for vacation. I bet that was right off Thrash's list, wasn't it?
It was on there. So yes, I think Jaws is an excellent pick. Now, granted, it was elaborated upon very greatly. I mean, they were giving the shark way too much animosity. Behaviorally, in fact, Benchley actually admitted after he wrote the book years later, when he actually started studying great white behavior, that he was actually ashamed of himself because a lot of the traits he assigned to white sharks is something they wouldn't do. They don't like humans as prey. We're too bony for them, like seals or dead whales. But Jaws is actually based on an actual encounter with it was a bull shark. They're not sure. They believe it was a bull shark along the coast of New Jersey in 1916. And the scary thing about great whites is oftentimes the attacks are based in ignorance. Especially right here in Cape Cod, our waters are really, really murky with silt and phytoplankton. Sharks don't see particularly well. So when they want to see what something is, they just kind of go. When a 16-foot shark goes just to see what you are, it ruins your whole day. So whether Jaws was doing it maliciously with beastliness of intent or inadvertently, again, yes, great whites are a problem. They're all over the place here in Cape Cod now. We have to swim.
I'll be honest with you. I spent a lot of time on a boat when I worked for Exxon. We were surveying places to set up oil platforms, and I had a lot of run-ins with sharks and learned a lot about them. And 90% of the time, if a shark has any interest in you, it's because it thought you was a seal. And it just wanted something to eat. You know, they can't really discern the difference between a person and a seal or what's that other one, a manatee.
The problem with great white sharks, though, is that great white sharks are very territorial. It would be like the inverse of Jaws, though. Like a great white wouldn't invade your territory and start attacking. It would be you having to go to the great white territory. Like this happens at the Great Barrier Reef all the time. There's certain areas they've blocked off and say this is great white territory. If you go here, you're probably going to get bitten by a great white shark. So nobody goes there.
And the person, they have signs on the Cape Cod beaches saying, if you see a seal,
that's just
get the hell out of the water.
That's just a conspiracy, Tug. They tell you that because they don't want you diving in the water where all the treasure ships sank. They're trying to get that for themselves, so they got to put the shark thing out there to keep you away from it.
I forget the comic who said it, but the black guy, he said there's no such thing as
shark-infested waters.
Because you are trespassing. You're in their house. You are trespassing. And they have the right to defend their property. So stay out of the water. You won't get bit by a shark. They ain't going to come on the beach while you laying on your towel and say,
sorry,
shark
I just
attack.
lost internet for a second. I don't know what happened. That was weird.
You didn't see the movies I saw, buddy. Sharknado.
What?
Sharknado.
Oh, come on. That's a series that went on too far.
Hey, in a good tornado, they can get you on Fifth Avenue, boy. I ain't lying. I saw it in a movie.
Whatever happened to Tara Reid?
A great many things from my
hasn't
understanding.
happened to Tara Reid?
But you got to admit, my choice for Jaws is a great choice because
no, it's an excellent choice.
Excellent choice.
Yeah, it's really based
Excellent
on reality that's been in all our minds at least once.
It was actually the very next one on my list. So if you hadn't picked it, I would have.
So Shane's up again by my calculation.
It is now Shane's turn to come up with something.
Oh, a horror movie that could actually happen?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the one I had in my mind. Not to necessarily say the alien aspect of it, but what is it? 13 Cloverfield Lane?
Oh, 10 Cloverfield Lane, yeah.
10 Cloverfield. That was 3 numbers off.
Yeah,
But
like 90% of that movie is totally realistic. Yeah.
Yeah, the aspect of there being an imminent danger outside, and said person rescues these people, and he's trying to keep them safe, but they're going through the whole psychological thing. Oh, he's gonna mess us up. Da, 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 da. Take the alien out of it. Let's just say there was war between Mangold outside, and he's trying to help them, protect them, and they're going through all this stuff to try to get out of there. I can see something like that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, 100%. And like with that movie, it doesn't even have to. There doesn't even have to be anything going on outside. I mean, yeah, there's that one person who like comes to the door and dies, but like, even if there was nothing happening outside, it could still be happening because the John Goodman character was such a creep. You could totally see him just abducting people and telling them that there's something going on outside. That's part of the tension of the movies. You're never really sure until the end.
That's a subplot in. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that's the one movie in that trilogy I love.
Me too.
The other two are just.
I like the original Cloverfield, but the Cloverfield Paradox, that's.
I can't stand that shaky cam stuff.
I mean, it's not for everybody. I get it. It's a found footage movie.
Cloverfield Paradox was
garbage. It's garbage. It's terrible movie.
I accept his choice of Cloverfield because
thank you.
I like it because I accept the possibility of aliens being real and actually coming to Earth one day and it not being pleasant. The Independence Day scenario. And I accept that as a possibility because I believe in extraterrestrial life. And so any of the alien movies where the aliens attack, or even Alien itself, I see as a possibility in the reality that they could exist. And also let me point out that there's this thing called 3-Eye Atlas that looks like Battlestar Galactica this week. So there you go.
Honestly, if the aliens show up now, so much has happened in the last 6 or 7 years. We're just like, whatever. It's just another thing.
What do you want?
Whatever.
They'd be like, oh, we can do a worse job.
See,
take me to your leader. Okay. He's right there.
I know why they don't come here. I think I know why aliens don't come to Earth. And that's because human beings are the nastiest creatures in the universe. We have viruses. It's like in War of the Worlds. They're just so deadly to them. They'd be stupid to step 1 foot outside the spaceship here. And that's why we never see them, because we basically got the quarantined plague zone of the universe. Hey, don't go to that germy place, boy. You'll all go down. Just like our germs were so bad, we took out our own indigenous people on the South American and Americas when the colonists first come over here. Imagine what we would do to an alien race from another planet with our nasty bugs. Come on.
You think all crop circles translate to stop it?
I think y'all
monkeys are crazy.
Don't land here.
Don't make me come down there.
Warning signs for the others. Like, nope.
Come here, you're
Do not open, dead inside.
Save yourself. Your turn.
Okay.
Run.
Oh, am I up?
Yeah, it is your turn, Thresh.
Super. I'm going to go with one I saw years ago, almost by accident. And as you guys know, I went through a phase where I became obsessed with Australian films. And this is a goodie. And again, as most, if not all the movies on my list, are at least based on an actual story, thus giving them an air of plausibility because they happened. This one is called Fortress.
Yes.
For those of you unfamiliar with the storyline, a nature field trip of a school in Australia in the 70s falls victim to a group of gangsters who proceed to victimize them. Actually, more than once. They victimize them, leave, and come back and victimize them again. And it's just the things the children and teacher do when they kind of go into survival mode. Because, one day they're this like nice little happy-go-lucky suburban school, and they end up like becoming almost tribal. There's this really weird scene at the end. I spoiler alert. So if you haven't seen the movie and you don't want it ruined, tune out now. But there's this really amazing scene at the end where the detectives come and they're just trying to get some more information from the teacher and the students to find out what actually happened. And it's weird. The teacher's talking to them but being very standoffish. And if you watch slowly, the children start to circle them on both sides. And they're looking at the teacher. It's almost like they're waiting for an order to attack, almost like a pride of lions or something. And it's like the hair on the back of my neck stood up. This is, and again, I'm sure there were tremendous liberties taken with the story, but this is such an intense, amazing story. And I was a kid in the 70s. I remember when this happened, and it was just wow. So if you haven't seen Fortune, and don't worry, I've saved a lot of goodies for you. If you haven't seen the movie, you have to go out and see it, but it is amazing.
And what was the title of that again?
Fortress.
But not to be confused with the 90s movie with what's his name? The guy who played the Highlander.
Yes.
That's a completely different movie. That's a sci-fi movie about a
I haven't got
prison or something.
Mostly based on Beowulf.
I haven't got to Australia yet. I've done Germany and I've done Japan and I've done Russia, but I haven't got to Australia.
There's
yet.
some good stuff in Australia. Thank you, Indy. Christopher Lambert. Right. Or as he pronounces it, Christophe Lambert.
And yes, Rachel Ward's hot. Yes, she is.
Water is also wet.
It's pretty sad. The Russian movies will apply here, I don't think.
I can't think of any Russian movies I would put on this list.
Or
Stalker.
Japanese. Of course, most of the movies I was picking out the movies were horror movies with monsters.
Think of.
Australia's brilliant. No, they're not. They lost a war to emus. No.
They're afraid of toads.
Hey, Doug, check this out.
They lost the war to jackrabbits.
I spent 2 hours today. I spent 2 hours watching the Japanese Invisible Man. Have you ever seen that one?
Yes, that's a Toho movie. Yeah.
Yeah, what a wonderful movie that is.
I don't think I've seen the whole movie, but I've seen parts of it. He puts on makeup instead of wrapping his face. So he kind of looks like a clown, but it's like a creepy clown.
Russia doesn't really make horror movies because their lives were so horrific the way they were. They didn't need to create monsters.
Yeah, their movies are just life sucks.
When you
pick up the Germans again.
Hey, let me point this out. When you make a movie about an invisible man and make it good, you have achieved something because you have literally have nothing to work with.
Me and Claude Rains take that personally. Anyway, I guess that means it's my turn again. I mean, I have seen Fortress, the 80s Australian movie. It's very good. It's been a while since I've seen it, but I saw it. I think I saw it on Bravo back when Bravo used to show, artsy movies from around the world. So let's see. I will pick. Oh, cool. What the hell? It's on the thumbnail. So I'll go ahead and talk about Silence of the Lambs.
If you weren't gonna say it, I would.
The high watermark.
Actually, my list had the one called Hannibal on it. But...
The Hannibal, like the one where he actually eats Ray Liotta's brain.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert again.
Yeah, I've seen all the Hannibal Lecter movies. I've seen Manhunter. I've seen Red Dragon. I've even seen Hannibal Rising, which is terrible. I don't recommend it. But Silence of the Lambs it's the gold standard. It just is. Like, you can't beat it. Anthony Hopkins as Hannibal and Jodie Foster as Clarice. You've seen Silence of the Lambs. You don't need me to tell you why it's so great. It just is. And the idea of a hyper-intelligent psychiatrist being secret serial killer and cannibal. Yeah. And he's actually going to, the police are actually going to go to him for help, which is something that, FBI profilers in the 90s were trying to do in the 80s and 90s. And that's where Thomas Harris got the idea. So, everything about that, every step of the way, it's believable. It's hyper dramatized, but it's all believable every step of the way. Like Hannibal Lecter escaping maybe is a little bit much, but I don't know, man. That movie.
Come on, man! To point this out, that Ted Bundy, the worst of the worst, didn't only escape once; he escaped twice.
Yeah, but he escaped twice because the people guarding him were idiots. They let him sit in the library with an open window.
Irrelevant. Still escaped twice makes it really realistic that Hannibal could escape.
So were those idiots, and when Lecter got out of that isolated cage in a big open room, 2 guards.
That's
Really?
true, and they left the door open and everything. Yeah.
And the point of realism, if you ever been in a jail and dealt with law enforcement, what are the chances of them putting a psycho killer in a big bird cage upstairs and not in a cell down there for television security? Come on, really?
That's a good point. But
Yeah. Last time I checked, we didn't keep criminals in bird cages and lost.
But I think one of the visceral reasons that movie really like hits is that like it came from a time where that kind of gore and violence you'd only see in like slasher movies, and even then it would usually be censored. And here, like it shows it to you. It's just grisly and it's realistic. And here's a guy flayed open. Like there you go. And I think that shock value actually really works to this movie's advantage because that was done by an actual human, not by some supernatural Jason who has been alive in Crystal Lake for 15 years or whatever. Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons that movie is so effective. And it came out at the height of the whole FBI profiling serial killer mania of the 80s and early 90s. So yeah, Silence of the Lambs, definitely my probably the first movie that came to mind when I thought of this topic. So,
it's probably the high watermark of the non-monster related horror films. I think.
Hannibal Lecter is one hell of a monster, though.
Is it weird?
Jodie Foster says that she was actually scared of Anthony Hopkins while making the movie.
Yeah, I've heard that. Is it weird I've had a lifelong crush on Jodie Foster?
No, nothing wrong with that. You're not.
I like her accent.
I
do love her southern accent, especially in Silence of the
Like that
Lambs.
southern tall.
Seems like I saw an interview where they said that Jodie Foster and Hannibal Lecter guy never met. That all their scenes were filmed apart. And they
a lot of them were, but when she was on set with him, she was somehow intimidated by him. But yeah, most of the interview, they had, I guess you'd call it body doubles or something.
Yeah, I actually seen where they're filming. I seen the thing where they're filming Silence of the Lambs, and the girl sitting there talking to Anthony Hopkins was not Jodie Foster.
I'd have to fact check that one.
I don't know. I heard the first scene they did together in that movie was when she went down to the cell.
Yeah, I think that's like she met him that way. Yeah.
Upper being thing, and it wasn't in the script. And that reaction she does to it is genuine because she wasn't expecting him to do that, and it creeped her out. I've heard that.
Oh, Indy's trying to start a fight, man. What are you talking about? Jodie Foster is great in that movie.
And she was the inspiration for Gillian Anderson's character in X-Files.
Right, yeah.
Gillian Anderson bathed her Scully on
when I think of Silence of the Lambs, I think of all the movies together, like Hannibal and Red Dragon. It's kind of all into one big focus, I like all of them a lot.
I do too.
Like you said, especially the one where Ray Liotta gets his head scraped. That's probably my favorite scene in the movie.
Yeah, and also Hannibal had Gary Oldman as that like burn victim, and he's like feeding people.
Yeah, wait a minute. The other part where he's feeding little pieces of Ray Liotta's brain to that little Kenny on the airplane.
Get on the airplane. Yeah.
It's pretty funny too.
I do love those movies. Those are great movies. Except for Hannibal Rising. Don't watch Hannibal Rising. It's terrible.
I'm so glad Justin, thank you for mentioning a Bad Ronald. Because I wanted to bring that up, but I couldn't, in all fairness, because I haven't actually seen it. I've only heard about it. My old college roommate actually wrote a stage play based on Bad Ronald. And I don't know, are you guys familiar with the story at all?
I have no idea what Bad Ronald is.
No idea.
Long story short.
That's that ugly clown over to the restaurant where they got the hamburger.
No. It was a made-for-TV movie. Long story short, this guy with emotional problems, sort of like out of the song Excitable Boy, commits an act of horror. The mother saves her deranged son from the police by making a false wall in the home so she can hide him. He hides there for years. She passes on. The new owners buy the house after she dies, not realizing there's a creep in a secret room in their new home, and hilarity ensues.
I missed
There's
it.
been a modern movie that has that exact same plot, but it's
Someone
name's
else
not
told me
wrong.
that, but I haven't
Yeah,
seen
I
that
can't
either.
remember the name of it though.
Yeah.
I remember
the
I saw
70s
it and it was
movie.
creepy, but yeah. You're
Yeah,
talking
the
about a
70s movie.
70s made for TV movie. I'm
TV
talking about
movie.
like something that
Not
was
that
made like
one.
10 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, I had heard somewhere there's something similar. I haven't seen that either though, so I can't speak to that either. But I love the premise, but I just haven't seen it, so I can't in good conscience in this bitch it. So, but thank you,
I think
Justin,
I
for
saw a
bringing it up.
trailer for it. You know, I probably saw a trailer for that stuff, but I haven't seen the movie, so I can't comment.
Ah, the stuff. No, that's not realistic. I'm sorry. Although its attack on consumer culture, I think, is spot on, and casual addiction in our society and all that. But it's not really plausible.
Oh, Mike Harper here says Dark Shadows. Shut up.
Time traveling vampires? Really? Really?
Be nice to Mike Harper.
Don't get me wrong, I love the idea of time traveling vampires. I'm a huge Brian Aldiss fan, but really,
I too love time traveling vampires.
Yeah,
Usually
back to
video
reality.
game form though.
Back to reality.
That one. Yeah, I do that.
Yes, back to reality.
Okay, so Dan, I think it is your turn now.
Okay,
let's
first,
go with that.
I'm going to talk about the movie here in a minute, but first I got to comment to what you said earlier when you made your little Jason reference. Let me point out that the first Friday the 13th movie would be on this list because it was the crazy mama doing the killing, not no mutant boy. Okay,
You are absolutely correct. Yes,
which would really be a great one for this list.
the first one is more realistic.
Too bad I'm not choosing that one because I'm going back to the original inspiration for your Hannibal Lecter. I'm going back to the original scary Psycho movie, and it's actually called Psycho with Anthony Perkins as the most black and white original realist piece of serial killer movie you can possibly imagine. The original to me.
No, absolutely. It was on my list because
Absolutely.
Tracy talked about it last night. So yeah, Psycho absolutely counts. And that's one of those movies that sets you off because of how the movie is made. Like it's designed to throw you off. Like that complete dramatic turn halfway through the movie is a thing of legend. And Anthony Perkins is as creepy as Anthony Hopkins. So
Andy, you really have a problem with Jodie Foster, don't you? Jeez.
Indy, just take the L and walk away, man. You're wrong.
Okay. She might have been a little annoying in that movie where she got to space and meet her dad. But other than that, I like most of her movies.
Jodie Foster is a fantastic actress. I will hear none of it, Indy.
She's a lovely woman.
But yeah, Psycho. Continue, Dan. Say more about Psycho.
Like I said, I consider that to be basically the prototype for the modern horror movies. That's where it all originated. For most movies, there might have been a few before that kind of leaned that way. Like A Bucket of Blood, maybe. But very few movies had the effect that Psycho did on such a wide scale. I remember seeing it on Shot Theater when I was very young, like 10 or 11. And that was in the 70s, 75, 76 when I first saw it. And it still even shocked my young age then, this guy dressed like this girl and killing people. And I remember it freaked me out a little bit.
Yeah, I know a lot of horror fans get all up in arms about what is the first slasher movie, but I think regardless of what movie came first, I think Psycho is the one that really popularized it and made the slasher boom possible. Like you would not have Friday the 13th, like you said, without Psycho. You wouldn't have any of the slasher movies. You wouldn't even have like Sleepaway Camp without Psycho. Sleepaway Camp has a very similar twist, actually.
I see where you're going. I'm like,
There's a bad taste in your mouth there, buddy.
I wasn't putting that in my mouth. I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway,
but it was interesting for a horror movie to have actual Freudian references into it. Like he actually, you up until that point, most movies about psycho killers, it's like they're crazy people. They're crazy people. There's no actual research as to what sort of psychological distresses could cause you to become it. They're just crazy because crazy is as crazy does. With I keep want to say Michael Myers, not Michael Myers. With Anthony Hopkins' character, someone throw me a bone here. Norman Bates. I said Anthony Hopkins. I meant Norman Bates anyway. We can actually connect
Anthony
the dots.
Perkins, Anthony Hopkins, Norman Bates, Michael Myers, whatever.
See, I need to drink more. I'm far more coherent when I'm drunk. But yes, we can connect the dots between his psychological problems and his propensity to do naughty things.
Yeah, exactly. And we wouldn't have Donald Pleasance's Sam Loomis without Psycho, because Sam Loomis gets his name from Psycho. Because the boyfriend, I can't remember the actor who plays him. His name is Sam Loomis in Psycho. I'm
sure Indy will tell you any moment now.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for him to get off of his Jodie Foster hate to give us some facts instead.
He probably hates Taxi Driver too, the Philistine.
Leave Jody alone.
Let's see. Tracy said she's seen Psycho on the big screen. I have never seen Psycho on the big screen. I really want to.
I've actually seen it on the big screen too.
That's
Couple
cool.
times.
I have not. I saw the stupid John DeBont remake, but
I saw it on a biggest screen you can possibly imagine at a July 4th summer festival where they were doing outdoor movies in the park. And that was one of the movies they shot on this super giant screen you could see for like a mile away.
Thank you, Indy. John Gavin, and I will ignore the second half of your comment. Yes, Robert Bloch insisted that Norman Bates was not based on Ed Gein, and yet Ed Gein lived less than 20 miles from Robert Bloch's house. I have a very hard time believing it.
There's at least some inspiration.
Yeah, for sure.
That actually comes up in a little bit, by the way, one of the next ones, but we'll move forward.
Oh, okay, yeah, because Ed Gein inspired a lot of these horror movies.
But things that may or may not have been an inspiration for things. Half the fun of movies is deciding what is and what is not an inspiration, as we've already done at great length in this episode.
Okay.
So, okay.
But yes, Dan, great pick. It was on my list, obviously. And yeah.
Awesome pick.
We will move on. Shane, you got to come up with something quick.
Quick, on top of your head. Come on now.
Underwater. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie. It is what's her name? Kristen
Stewart. Yeah. That's the one with Cthulhu in it. Yeah. Cthulhu.
That movie, I watched it by accident. And when I say that, I was just chilling on the couch, flipping through the channels, and like it was starting. And the title come up, Underwater. It's like showing the titles and Kristen Stewart. I'm like, oh, something else she did. Let's take a look and let it play. Now, if a movie doesn't get me in like 15 minutes, I'm not watching the rest of it. And the way it started off, just a little slow, and then boom. Like
it's collapsing. Yeah.
2-3 minutes of just kind of her messing with the spider, and then boom, the movie starts and it never stops. And it was just like, huh. And she was actually good in it. But the whole concept of being deep water explorationists, as they were, having to stay down there and dealing with a chaotic situation, we don't know what's down there. Only 20% of the ocean has been studied and researched.
Oh.
We don't know what's down there. Yeah, probably less than that. We don't know what's down there. There could be a Cthulhu monster down there. I mean, I could absolutely see that. Like, I watched that whole movie, and I was just like, this is actually kind of good. And I heard too many people try to compare it to, it's just aliens underwater. No, it's not. No, that's not even close.
Underwater is a very, very underrated movie. I'm glad you brought it up. I don't consider it
very underrated,
but I would. It does belong in the same conversation as movies like Deep Star 6 or maybe even Leviathan. Movies that are set in deep sea exploration. People who like go down there for like 3 months and they get paid so much that that's all they have to do all year is just work underwater for 3 months. And in that deep sea environment, you're right. We don't know anything about what's going on down there. That's why we're there. And little tiny things can go wrong and it can cause chaos. And I think the beginning of Underwater, where like there's nothing supernatural happening at the very beginning, not really. I mean, there kind of is, but like when it's just the station kind of collapsing and imploding on itself, that is very harrowing. And I would count that as realistic. So I will give you the benefit of the doubt there. The second half of Underwater, where you get into Cthulhu and stuff, not so much, but the first half for sure.
Yeah, they gave enough time for you to realize, oh, okay, something's going on. Maybe it's just normal catastrophe stuff that can happen in an underwater deep environment like that. And then, the one guy, we get the first glimpse, kind of semblance of, oh, there's something else going on here. There's something doing this. And then until later, we get, the monster is just like, hello there.
I'm okay. I'm okay with all these really cool underwater movies where we don't know what's going to happen. Could be monsters, could be aliens, whatever. As long as we don't send Dustin Hoffman in to investigate, I'm good.
Dustin Hoffman.
Outbreak.
Oh, yeah, Outbreak. And I also just want to very quickly defend Kristen Stewart.
Goes into the water to investigate aliens.
There was Sphere.
Like I thought you meant Outbreak.
He's talking about tomato. But no, I want to defend Kristen Stewart as an actress. I actually think she's a great actress. She played Joan Jett in The Runaways and is really, really good in that. And she's really good in Underwater. Yeah, she was in the Twilight movies, and we should definitely, make fun of her for that. But I actually do think she's a good actress. Like, honestly. So there's that.
Give her and what's his name?
Robert Pattinson.
I'll give them both credit. They got away from that Twilight stuff and went on to do better stuff.
Yeah.
I did enjoy Robert Pattinson in Batman. As Batman. He made a horrible Bruce Wayne, but he was a great Batman.
1000% agree with you. That's exactly what I said as soon as I got out of the theater. He's a great Batman. Terrible Bruce Wayne.
Yeah. It's just a sad emo. My parents died.
I tried so hard to love his Batman, and I liked it. That's all I can say. So I didn't,
as you would say, to own their each.
Yeah, I tried. Well, I don't know what it was, but I just like, it's good.
They did what they should have did with Batman and make him more of the detective, and I really appreciated that.
I'll give you
that movie. It was too long, and Catwoman, she kind of overstayed her welcome, but him as Batman actually doing detective work, that was cool. What's his name? I can't think of his name, but he's from the David Craig James Bond movies. The guy that played Commissioner Ford. I think he did a good job.
What is his name? Jeffrey Wright? Yeah, Jeffrey Wright.
I think it's his, yeah. I think he did a good job as Gordon. Yeah.
I liked all the movies.
I love the Batman. I think it's a good movie. Like I do agree. It is way too long, and there maybe is too much Catwoman. But it's a great movie.
I think it just bit off more than it could chew. It would have worked. I think for me, maybe it would have worked better as a miniseries.
They could have cut out like the last hour of the movie, and it would have worked.
Oh yeah,
I know.
Yeah,
but it was a good movie. I really, really like it, and I love.
I'm not knocking it. I just,
I think if you had like Christian Bale's Bruce Wayne combined with Robert Pattinson's Batman, you'd have a complete Batman.
No good.
Anyway, that's neither here nor there. I don't know why we're talking about Batman.
Oh no, we're talking about.
They were talking about
all the superheroes. Batman, because of all the superheroes, Batman is the one that's actually possible. Some rich guy has cool.
That's true. His
stuff.
superpower is being rich. Yeah.
He's the only one that could be real.
Good point, Dan. That is why we're talking about Batman. He doesn't rely on any alien technology or weird nuclear accidents or something. He wasn't like hit by toxic waste in the eyes and became Daredevil. Okay, Thrash.
I'm going to go for one, which I have to thank you for helping me research. This one is one I thought of in the last minute. And it's a movie about an English serial killer. And it's one of the most terrifying films I've ever seen. It's 10 Rillington Place. And it's absolutely amazing. I don't know if people are familiar with the story. It's this horrible English killer. And what he did was he took advantage of impoverished women. There's a subplot that I'm going to avoid, but basically they came to him for help, and he would trick them into inhaling a gas pipe. He told them that it would have anesthetic properties. And he said, "Oh, we learned this during the war, during the Blitz. You know, if you just put a filter on this gas main, you can give people emergency medical procedures." And these women believed it. And what he would do is he would put them under to the point of near death. But before they died, he would ravage them, to use a term acceptable for YouTube, and then finish them off if they weren't still, if they weren't already dead, and then bury them in his backyard. And there's one in particular, this one young woman called Beryl, who again comes to him for help, and he professes to help her, and then he kills her. Her husband is played by John Hurt. John Hurt, who is one of my favorite actors of all time. He was a national treasure. Pity it wasn't This Nation. But he plays this sort of very almost pathetic, not very smart, this sort of what we would call in this country a rube. And they totally take advantage of him. He ends up getting convicted and executed for the murder of his wife when he didn't do it. There's a subplot also where, on top of everything else, the serial killer trying to cover his tracks kills their child as well. And then the whole thing just kind of blows up. And the villain is played by David Attenborough, who you wouldn't think...
Attenborough.
What? Oh, I'm sorry. I said David, didn't I? I'm sorry. I meant Richard.
John Hammond himself. Richard Attenborough.
Richard Attenborough. I always do that with the two of them. I'm doing that since Jurassic Park. Richard Attenborough, who you wouldn't think would be good as a serial killer, but apparently that was the whole thing. The guy, he was the most inoffensive, non-threatening, unformidable person who ever lived, but he was such a psychopath. And I caught this movie almost on accident. I was working a night shift, and I had come home, and everyone else in the house was asleep, and I put on like TMC to unwind, and I caught this movie, and I'm watching it going the whole time. And I looked for it. It wasn't available. Even when I was at the video store, it wasn't available for years. But I rediscovered it a few years ago. And this is actually one of the most amazing. If I remember correctly, he was one of the last people to be put to death in the UK right before they banned capital punishment, I believe.
I haven't seen 10 Rillington Place, but I did watch a documentary about John Christie, and they like showed scenes from this movie in it. So I've seen a couple of scenes just from that documentary. And you're right, Richard Attenborough, he kills it. He's just amazing as this
Unintended.
Yeah.
Don't be fair. He did make a park full of killer dinosaurs that killed a lot of people.
True.
That justify him as a serial killer in a technical sense.
Yeah, don't blame the dinosaurs. Blame the guy who built them. Yeah.
Yeah, no kids, except for everywhere.
They renamed the street in the UK.
Really?
It's called something else. Yeah. They were tired of people doing like haunted London tours and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And people were coming by and they're like, this is sick. We don't want to be remembered for this guy. They changed the name of the street so these freaks would go away. So, yeah.
If only that worked.
I know.
Okay, well, I guess that means it's my turn again. Unless Dan has anything to say about 10 Rillington Place.
I just say it was a good movie.
You saw it? That's cool.
Like,
okay. Do what else have I got on my list? Oh, well, let's talk about movies that are loosely based on things that may or may not have been real. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The Tobe Hooper classic that is based on Ed Gein, although not really. Just the House Full of Horrors is all that's really based on Ed Gein. Ed Gein never had a chainsaw. He wasn't really a cannibal.
He was an only child.
And yeah, he was an only child. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre is just like the prototypical killer hillbilly movie. And it's probably the best killer hillbilly movie. All, no offense to you, Rob Zombie. like, it always bugs me. Why did Rob Zombie remake Halloween when he could have remade Texas Chainsaw Massacre? It would have been more suited to his strengths. But anyway, the Texas
Fair.
Chainsaw Massacre is so, I know I said this word already, but I'm going to say it again, visceral. Because especially the last like 20 minutes or so when you're at the dinner party, the movie is shot in such a way that it makes it look like it what film geeks call cinema verite, cinema of the real, where it's made to look like it's filmed on a camcorder, like somebody's just there documenting it. It's not filmed to look stylish like a movie. It's and I think that works really well for this movie in particular, especially in the end, because it gets you in this hyper realistic mindset so that you think this is really happening in front of you, and you start to feel as tormented as what's her name, the main character, who's the final girl whose name I can't remember off the top of my head. That whole dinner scene, it's a test of endurance, and I feel like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is really terrifying on that level. Like it's in your face horror, but again, it's all realistic. These are just people. They're hillbillies and they're crazy and they're cannibals, but this is supposed to be real and it feels real. So yeah, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's a classic. Toby Hooper is great. Great movie. I do like the remake.
I have a love-hate relationship with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I love Texas Massacre as a movie. It's a classic horror movie. I think it's really scary. But what I hate about it is that girl's intolerable screaming for an hour. 30 minutes in, this pig starts screaming, ah, ah, and she screams for an hour straight. By the time that movie's over, I'm hoping somebody hits me with a chainsaw.
You're not wrong. She's annoying. She's not as annoying as the guy in the wheelchair. He's
That's
really
the most annoying and screaming teeny girl that ever existed, man.
I don't know, man. Dakota Fanning in War of the Worlds is pretty close.
Nah, man.
She was young.
But Dakota Fanning was also in The Running Ways.
Oh yeah, you are.
She
not
was
wrong.
also
She
in.
played Lita Ford. You know?
Yeah.
What was that, Man on Fire? I think. Denzel
Oh yeah, Man
Washington?
on Fire when she was little. Yeah, with Denzel.
She was
Washington.
great.
Yeah. That's another movie that
Well,
I think it's a remake, and I actually like it better than the original. So yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, Man on Fire is a remake. The original is not very good.
Oh, oh.
We still want to do a show like that where it's like remakes that were better than the original.
Oh, that'd be a great show.
And yeah, Vim, that Netflix Ed Gein is about 5% accurate, if that. Don't take that as real at all. That movie offends me with how much it got wrong. It invented whole there's a girl who in real life was murdered by somebody who was not Ed Gein, definitely not Ed Gein. There's no evidence tying Ed Gein to it, and this documentary mini series that they're doing on Netflix like blames Ed Gein for it. Just shows Ed Gein committing this murder, which he did not commit, and that is like that. That's kind of blasphemous, right? Like you're actually like using a real life victim and twisting what really happened to her to fit the needs of your stupid Ed Gein show, which is trying to yassify Ed Gein by making him Channing Tatum. I hate it. I really hate it.
Chainsaw Massacre, I admire your choice. Like I said, I consider it a classic horror movie, except for the part where she screams for an hour. I love it.
Fair enough.
I mean, everything else going on is great except that bitch's mouth. I'm sorry.
I don't disagree. Like I said, it's an endurance test, and that's part of it.
If she just screamed at a different volume, at a different level, not that irritating high-pitched whine.
Yeah, I feel that way about the women in my basement. I mean, yeah. Anyway, so what's your pick, Dan?
Oh Lord! See, I got two good picks, but I know time is limited, man. Time is limited.
Will this call for another one, by the way? Will this show need a part 2?
This will probably be
because I have so many more on my list. We can do a part 2. I wasn't expecting a part 2, but we can do a part 2. I'm sure Damien will be happy to hear that.
Yeah, he missed it.
And yeah, John Larroquette was the narrator of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. True.
But here's one for you, man. How about realism? How about a story based on something that really happened? How about a story that shocked the 70s, the modern day real life horror story. Let me present to you Helter Skelter. Oh my God, the story of Charles Manson and poor Sharon Tate.
Yeah.
The modern day realism nightmare, man. What happened to them poor people up in them mountains in Beverly Hills, man? Wow.
I saw that.
I can remember his name, but the little guy that played Charles Manson in Helter Skelter is
Steve
brilliant.
Railsback.
Oh,
Yeah,
I said
I
Brian
never
Cox.
can
Then I'm
remember.
sorry, Steve Railsback.
The guy from Life Force.
Yeah,
That's what I was thinking of him as.
You think you remember? You think you remember Patrick Stewart's first on-screen kiss? Yeah, that would stick out in your mind.
Every time I mention Life Force, Danny, you have to bring it up. Anyway, yeah, Helter Skelter. I saw it a long time ago.
I saw that when I was like 12, 13, and it's funny because one of my earliest memories, I think I was like 2.5, 3 years old. My earliest memories in life was it was dinner time. My mom was in the kitchen. I was having dinner with my father. We were in front of the TV, and a news broadcast came on about about the Manson trials. And my mother came running and saying, "Why are you letting him watch that?" Because it was very vivid. And then I was like 3, and he's like, "Oh, well, I don't know." And they changed the channel, and I'm like, I didn't even really know what was going on. It was later that I actually like. Why is everyone being so mean to each other?
Goes to show what kind of parents I had. When I was 11 years old, I remember getting the Helter Skelter novel for Christmas.
Ew. But in any event, I remember watching Helter Skelter when I was like in middle school. I remember being blown away because I never realized up until that point just how connected the Beatles were to Charles Manson's delusion. But the scene that always got me was one of the prosecutors that they're breaking for the day or whatever, and he goes, my watch has stopped, and he looks over, and Manson's looking at him like, like he had made your watch stop. And for some reason, as a 12-year-old, the hair on the back of my neck stood up. That scene is staying.
You know that Charles Manson actually sat down, wrote songs, and
yeah, totally
worked with the Beach Boys. One of the guys in the Beach Boys.
He's listed on a couple of their albums.
Yep.
Yeah.
I used to have that book, Helter Skelter, but it's not on my bookshelf now, so I must have donated it or something. Unless I'm just blind and it's right in front of my face, which is also a possibility.
I don't know where my copy is. I have one somewhere.
And yes, Helter Skelter is very plausible again because it happened. So,
and yeah, you're right. Steve Railsback actually played Ed Gein as well. I forgot about that.
On my list of true crime stuff that we could talk about, that was probably one of the goriest real life crimes that ever happened in the United States. It was gory.
It's pretty intense, yeah.
And on a related note, Leslie Van Houten, one of the girls who committed that crime, just got paroled, and she's on the streets again. There you go.
Fun.
You're shitting me.
Nah, I shit you not, my friend.
Crazy.
Okay, I'll permit the S words for that. It's fitting.
And the other lady who went, and one of the other ones who went up for parole got parole too, but the governor shot it down and wouldn't let her out. But both of them got parole. I can't remember the other one's name because she was the one that actually done something gruesome. The governor said, "No, you can't get out." The other chick was just there, you know. Leslie Van Houten actually turned state's evidence and testified against the rest of them, which is probably why she was allowed out eventually.
Crazy.
Anyway, Shane, it is now your turn.
I gotta think of one off the top of my head, huh?
Well, don't worry, it's your last one.
Oh, well, okay, I was thinking about this one earlier. Because it's like actually happened. The Orphan.
Oh,
Or,
yeah, the good call.
Orphan?
Yeah, The Orphan. Yeah. This is a good one.
Hey, I did hear about this story of some immigrant or something that tricked her way into some family's home, and
It's exactly like the movie. Yeah,
thought it was a kid, went to school and everything, and and they come to find out this little S bag was 24 years old or something like that. It's just like, huh?
yeah. She had like some genetic condition. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, here's the kicker about that
Orphan's a
true
good
story
movie.
you're talking about, dude. I don't know if you know this or not, but they said that girl was real old. They said she wasn't that little teeny tiny age. They left her on her own in an apartment. They abandoned her, and everybody was treating her like she was an adult and everything. And it come to find out she wasn't lying, and she really was a kid when it happened. That they were the parents were the ones who were wrong. Just saying.
Huh. I mean, I don't know enough to tell you, but like I always heard
the movie, it didn't work that way.
I heard it like Shane. I
Real
just heard
life,
that it was
it
a real thing. Yeah, I believe you.
Yeah, nobody talks about
I don't know.
the rest of the story. But if you listen to Paul Harvey, you'll
We're talking about two different stories. The one I'm talking about, they actually found this person was pretending to be a kid. The school found it out, and then they reported it to the parents and then to the police. They arrested them at the school. It's like, what are you doing? And
I'm looking into it, but I remember the
Not sure
movie.
what you know.
The movie's really good. It's got Vera Farmiga in it, and the kid is really creepy.
I'm not familiar with this one. I apologize.
It's like from like
The
15
movie
years
is weird.
And it had-
yeah.
I've actually seen that horrible little movie about that horrible little girl, and I did not like it. It was very uncomfortable.
Well, that's
The
why I
Bad
like it.
Seed.
Yes. I mean, it was a good movie for per se horror kind of tension wise, but for its subject matter, I found it somewhat uncomfortable because I don't know. Oh,
I need to throw one honorable mention.
Okay, go for it.
My most hated number one scary movie that absolutely is based in realism can be. Well, it has happened. The Crying Game. And if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. And leave it at that.
Accepted as honorable mention. There we go.
Looking into it, Dan, it doesn't look like you're right. Like this Barbara Skrylova, apparently is her name, was really a 33-year-old woman who was posing as a 13-year-old. Like this is a real thing that happened, apparently.
Yeah, I've seen that, but I saw something that said that she had been vindicated and had done a genetic DNA thing. It was just recently on the news. It might have been something else they were talking about, and I could have been confused. I'll digress.
Could be.
Like, she was found not guilty for something, but she's still a 33-year-old woman who posed as a 13-year-old. Like, that's still real, but she was like found not guilty of murder or something. I'm not really sure. I'd have to do a deeper dive.
I'm definitely talking about somebody different because that chick wasn't never accused of no murder or nothing. She was just they thought she was a kid and left her in an apartment.
Like I said, I have to do a deeper dive, but my quick Googling tells me that this is a real story and a real thing.
I think there's quite a few real stories like that. But
that makes it scarier, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Me up?
Yeah, you get one last shot. Go for it.
Good. Since and I don't want to talk about people in, shall we say, more provincial parts of the country, but since you threw out Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
I've already said the H word, so go for it.
Yeah, I know. I have to go.
I'm from the South. I can say that.
Hey, we have the same type of folks up here in the North. We just call them different naughty words behind their backs. But I'm going to have to go with Deliverance. And not just because of the nasty provincials. It's part and yeah, they certainly are a scary element in the movie, but it's also the fact that here are these men up against nature and they're losing. You know, it's like one of them is a naturalist, but most of these guys are very pampered city guys, and they think they're just going to go on this whitewater rafting trip, and nature is a harsh mistress, and let's face facts, they don't hold up well. In fact, the one who actually holds up the least is the naturalist, Burt Reynolds. He's the one who actually is going to lose his leg at the end, possibly. We don't know. But I just, it's something you see all the time. Like the Donner Party. Oh, we'll go through like this part of the country. It'll be fine. We know where, and you're not. I mean, if you stick yourself in a dangerous part of nature at a dangerous time, nature can be really, really, really scary. And you put it together with the violent inbred moonshiners, and it's like you have yourself a really, really scary road trip movie. And as I've always said on many occasions, all good English sci-fi horror is a road trip with a scary setting. And the road is the river, but it's still that which one travels on. And Deliverance, I think, is just a masterpiece. John Boorman has made some incredible movies. I think this one actually rivals one of my favorite films of all time. Excalibur is just an absolutely outstanding film.
Okay, real quick, Tug, Google Natalia Grace 2013.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. It's a very similar story, but but you're right. It turns out the other way around. Like she actually was younger.
Yeah.
We're talking about two different.
But yeah, it's two different stories. Like the one about the.
It doesn't change the fact that it's not the same.
I was sitting here and I happened to remember her name.
That's cool. Okay.
See,
and
I know what I'm talking about. I'm not crazy, damn you.
I didn't say you were crazy. I mean, you are, but I didn't say that. And Indy, I may be from Florida, but I really was from Hickville, man. Let me tell you, I grew up with a burning cross across the street. Okay, I know what I'm talking about.
Oh, and yes, Grant, we did talk about 10 Rillington Place. You'll have to watch it in
yeah, we did. We did talk about that. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, guys. I'm in South Carolina. It's down the damn road from me.
Indy, where do you think Florida is on the map geographically in the United States?
Like if I said I was from the South and I was really from Miami, you'd have a point. But come on. That's from a place called Ocoee, okay?
Yeah, there's two parts of Florida. North Florida is the South. The South half of Florida is Cuba.
I-4 splits
Indy.
up. Yeah.
Indy, that's a riot.
You know,
I-4, I think that might be a good one where it starts. You're in the South anymore.
This actually has South in the title.
Yeah. No, South Carolina is definitely the South, man. I go to South Carolina every year. I know.
And that really hit home, Thrash, because Deliverance was filmed down the street.
Really?
That's
it's a movie I've only seen once because it's so uncomfortable. I don't want to watch it again.
On the South Carolina-Georgia line in the Okefenokee Swamp near Augusta, Georgia. They filmed some scenes from it down there.
Huh.
Cool. What I was told.
I did not know that.
I don't even think it's credited in the movie, but they did film some scenes down there.
And
Tracy's in the South because she's in North Florida.
If I remember the story correctly, this is anecdotal. You know, I have some of my best stuff is anecdotal. In fact, Indy, you can either support or shoot me down here. Ed O'Neill has an uncredited role at the very end as a Georgia State trooper.
Really?
In the hospital scene.
That's cool. Okay, well, we're hitting
college at the time.
We're hitting the hour and a half mark, and as Thrash predicted and begged, we will do this again next week. And Shane, of course, you can come back, and we will get Damien's input. More real life horror movies, even though the spooky season will be over by next week. It doesn't matter. Spooky season is always good here. We can stay there forever. It's always in our hearts.
Spooky.
I'm wearing the Bride of Frankenstein, so yeah.
You know me, to me, the horror movie season's never over because I live for horror movies.
There you go. And I talk about a lot of horror on this channel, even when it's not.
Trying to get caught up in January.
Yeah. So I do have a review of The Mummy dropping in about half an hour. The Hammer version of The Mummy, the 1959 Christopher Lee, Peter Cushing. Not the Brendan Fraser version. Definitely not the Tom Cruise version. Not even the Boris Karloff version, but the Christopher Lee version. And yeah, we'll be back next week. Thrash, what are you doing tonight with your trivia? Oh wait, we're all doing a thing tonight, aren't we?
Yeah, tonight it's going to be another group effort. Sarah's already put the whole thing together, so no trivia tonight. I guess it's just going to be your general horror Q&A. Looking forward to it. 7:00. Yeah, 7:00.
Actual movies with monsters and Halloween and horror in them.
Yeah, you'll get your fill.
Yes.
Not just a movie, it's about the baddies.
The vampire, the baddies. You mean vampires?
The baddies.
No.
The baddies.
Actually, I can think of several movies about bats that don't involve vampires that are actually very scary.
So what about you, Shane? Are you going to be going live later?
About 30 minutes.
Cool. All right. Maybe I'll show up. Maybe I won't. I don't know. I have no idea what my wife has planned for me.
Yeah, I'm here on my 34-hour reset. Trying to get back home for the weekend to do my Halloween stream, and on Halloween, doing some body cam videos that are kind of related to the spooky and how do you say, I'll justify them as I play them. But
Perfect.
and I got my 25-year class reunion on the 1st, so working my way back home for that. But yeah, I'm streaming about 30 minutes and test this truck stop Wi-Fi. See how that goes.
I skipped my reunion because I didn't want to talk about Lance Bass. He was in my class.
No,
Our 20th.
Did I know that?
They skipped our 20th because of COVID. They skipped it, so they decided to try. Let's try 25.
My 40th is coming up, and I'm not going because if I wanted to talk to you, I still would be.
There you go. That's fair. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I guess that's it. I will see you tonight, or I'll see you next week.
Thank
or
you.
I'll see you whenever. So
Just
Ciao for now.
curling.
Night, guys.
I'm going to
Rails.
Thank you and good night.